Hi, Grace.
Hi.
Great to have you here with us in Vancouver. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, for those of you who are just learning about The Border, can you tell us a bit about the show and what viewers can expect week to week?
The Border is a really fast-paced procedural about the stories that are, some of them ripped right from the headlines, but essentially about an elite squad of Immigration Customs Security agents based in Canada, namely in Toronto, at ICS headquarters, dealing from a range of international criminal activity, corporate spies, sleeper cells, special ops, intelligence, that kind of thing. So week to week, it's always like a new case and what the agents encounter and how they solve it.
Cool. So I understand you're joining on episode 7. I caught the trailer online and it looks like there's going to be some hot, steamy scenes and some ass kicking. So can you tell us about maybe your character, Liz, and how she gets introduced to the show?
Yeah. My character, she's an American DHS field agent. Her name is Liz Carver. And we find her, first of all, in Idaho. She's like born and raised out there. She's a small town girl. She's a shoot from the hip, good instinct kind of girl. She rolls with the punches. She's ambitious, clear-eyed. Her dad's a minister, you find out. And so that sort of leads her to make decisions that are more ethical. That morality is important for her, but at the same time, it's like she fights for her country. She's like kind of like a good hometown girl, but at the same time, she's not afraid to, jump on a horse or to explore her rebellious side. And that's kind of some of the stuff that we're going to see when she encounters like some of the main people from the border, namely Detective Gray Jackson.
So what would you say makes Liz different from the other characters in the show, and does she bring anything different for the fans?
Liz, first of all, is an American. The rest of them are all Canadians. So right off the bat, there's a difference there. You got like the international lines drawn. Her, though, she eventually becomes a Canadian liaison. So you'll find that the person that used to be the liaison was she had a lot more like sass and attitude and hair and nails, like just like she previously, like they're both sexy in their own way, but this girl's like more athletic and she'll wear cowboy boots instead of heels.
Okay, so let's get to the point. Does she get to kick a lot of ass?
It depends. You got to watch and find out for yourself.
Good answer. So, did you have to do a lot of training for that? Any of the the ass kicking that might happen?
No, we did have a little bit of stunt things happening that day, and I got to say, like, it was kind of interesting. Not because I couldn't pull it off, but it was a bit of an interesting kind of combination of people I had to work with, who I kind of did a bit of the stunt and they were pretty sensitive, let's say, and it's kind of like, okay, I really didn't hit you hard, but so I basically have to look like I'm kicking you and you're huge and take you down to the ground and I can't touch you, but I have to like have this big old kick. It was just this like very not fun situation.
And did you have to know anything else to prepare for the role?
I mean, ideally, your character, where they're coming from. You gotta have an idea of what they do in training, stuff like that. Yeah. I went across the border many times. I just looked those guys up and down. I'm like, what do you know that I don't? Okay.
So do you think your being visibly diverse brings anything to the character?
Each person, when they come to a role, is going to bring with them a package of who they are as a person, their experiences, what they've decided, their choices for that character. I really don't think it makes much of a difference specifically what I visibly look like, but of course TV's a visual medium, so it's going to create some type of variety, with the cast and with the show.
So last question, was it nice to work on a Canadian program for a change?
It was really nice to come back, over the border, back in a Canadian homeland, and I felt very comfortable being there. Good things to learn on the American sets, on the U.S. turf, and then to be back home, you're like, oh, okay, I get this.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks so much, Grace. It was great having you with us today.
Thanks.
Grace Park joins CBC's The Border, which airs on Mondays at 9 p.m.